Hi, everybody. Sean Innovative again. Just want to give you a little rundown over the trend lock system and the new addition that I had decided to put to it to help, some traders that are having a little difficult on timing their entries and getting an idea of when would be the best entry. So we have our fast MACD up here. Down here, we added a standard regular MACD. The regular settings that you get from default when you load it in from NinjaTrade. All right. Now, for mine, I usually I'll take this regional highlight Y, go right to where the zero line is, pull it down, grab it again. Mine's locked from default, but go like that. And this is how I get this pinkish area down the bottom. I like to do that because then I'm not focusing so much on am I above the line, am I below the line, and it helps out quite a bit. All right, take this, regional highlights, set this to 30. So I figured just walk you guys through that a little bit right there. All right, this I'll go to transition. All right, and there we go. Hit full, and there we go. So now we're able to actually see um, when we're below and when we're above the zero line, because that matters quite a bit. All right. This was this morning's 5:21, and this is right about shortly after the open. Now, the traditional rules are once we're above, we cross over, we wait for a pullback here. All right. We want to make sure that we're above the 8 and the 21 on the 1 minute as well as the 5 minute. And we typically want them stacked. Right now, at this point here on the 5 minute, we are not stacked. Okay. At the time of that trade. Let's step back there. We're right here. All right. So let's see, right here, we crossed, broke up, we pulled back, and right here. It's shortly after the open. Typically don't like to trade them anyhow, but right here, you can see that price crossed the 20, the 8 crossed the 21 here, pulled away, pulled back, came here. We actually had a delta divergence. All right. The MACD on the fast MACD at the close of that candle was sloping up and above the signal line. All right. And then if we look below on the 20 on the standard MACD, we have the MACD above the signal line and crossing the zero line. So for a 40 range chart aspect, this is an entry. Looking over at the 1 minute, we are actually at an entry. All right. Let's look at the crosshairs. Everything stacked and we're moving up. But the 5 minute, the ADMA is sloping up, but it still was underneath the 21. So that right there doesn't take care of all the rules for the system. But if you would have jumped in on that one, if you had to, and would have still yielded you 17 and a half points. All right. Now we're here. We have this here. The MACD is below the signal line on the 40. So at this point here, this is not a trade. All right. This one here, same thing. We're below, not an entry. Now, if we look at the standard MACD, it's sloping down and it's below the signal line at this point. So we don't have any trades right through this section here. All right. Because we're looking down here, we're below. This is starting to cross up here. But when this candle closed here, we were below. Okay. So that's not where you want to be. This one here starts, they're still below. Now this candle here, we're crossing the signal line on the standard. We're above the signal line on the fast, We have strong delta pushing us up. All right. We had a little pullback, but it's still positive delta. Okay. On the 5, we're stacked and above. MACD is actually holding us where we need to be. And on the 1 minute, everything's a go. All right. So this is how much this filter will actually help out. Go here, 18 and a quarter points. All right. That's if you got your entry in a good fill. We come here, we're going sideways a little bit. All right. But as we're here, down here, we're below. We're still above on the standard. So we had a little cross up here with this absorption right here. We absorbed 175 contracts. Even though we had the absorption to the upside, momentum is pushing up. Price is going up. And on this candle here, we had a strong negative delta showing that they were trying to push this down and they failed. With the rest of the momentum right behind them, we had an entry. That leads right up to here below. Now remember, we're trailing right behind all the blue candles. So this is here. This one, we don't move the stop yet. If this one closes up, we move the stop, we move the stop, we move the stop, we move our stop. The other one came down, it took us out. That's okay. We're not looking to catch every move and all of the moves. We're trying to get the most secured moves that we could get into. All right. Now we look here in this section here. This is crossing up, but where are we on the standard? We're below. No entry. All right. Same thing for this whole section. We're below. There's no entry. Right here is when it's crossing up. We had a pullback here. All right. After it crosses the 21. All right. Price pulled up, it pulled back. It pulled up, it pulled back. Here it pushes up. Okay. We have all this strong delta. This one's touching the ADMA, which is one of the rules. All right. We get in. It came back, but it never took it out. All right. Never took out the low of that candle. So stop goes to here. Stop goes to here. Stop goes to here. To here. To here. And right here, it got us out. All right. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. And we secured 18 is 36. Another 17. Oh, is that 43 points already? All right. Comes to here. We're below. Nothing here. We broke across here, but down here, we have nothing. All right. Here it pulls away. Now we had a little bit of a spurt at 10 o'clock. I'm not exactly sure why. We flew in seconds. Look down here at the timeline. 143, 143, 44, 40. In a second, you're not getting into any of these trades. All right. Market all of a sudden comes back down. Now, in the group, I was mentioning, going to let the dust settle because we just had whatever this was right here happening in seconds. We want to let everyone catch up to figure out what's going on. Give it at least, 4 or 5 minutes to catch up. We come here now. All we see is this MACD crossing all over the place. All right. Look at price crossing all over the place. The EMAs are pretty much going sideways. They're flat. That's just chop. When the EMAs are crossing like this and price is going on both sides, that's just letting you know this is not a market you want to play. All right. We're still in chop. We're still in chop. Now, going to show you guys a little something here since we have range bars. We zoom out. If you see this chop right here, it's making a range. All right. There's our range. Now, this here, if we're looking at the 5, we're above the EMAs. So by default, we should have been still looking only for longs going on. On the 1 minute, we're going barcoding right on both sides. All right. Here we broke out of the range, came back in, tested the bottom of the range. All right. Let's pull this in. Now, as this pulled back in, we got trap traders here, no signal. All right. This bar here, we had negative delta. The MACD line ended up sloping up and turned green. We're above here. On the 5 minute, we're above everything. All right. And on the 1 minute, we're above everything. That's our entry. Come here, trail this on up, 35.75. All right. Now here, we're technically below the MACD. No trade. Now this one here, we're sloping up, but we're still below. You technically could have taken this with the strong move that we have. Looking at the 1 minute, this one here tested the 8 EMA. This one here pretty much did, but either case, this one tested the 8 EMA. We just had this absorption here that pushed it up, touching the 8. But this one here, I may have waited a second, but once this candle here closed and it's still touching, could have entered there. All right. Then you would have had the surge behind you. It's 26 points. If you would have pulled the trigger earlier, that's 36 points. All right. Typically, once it closes up above the 8 EMA, it's usually pretty good. This one here, no go. Completely not anywhere where you want to be. All right. This Uber here, since it was an Uber, where'd you take it? It followed the regular rules for the trend lock. But since we're looking to make sure that this is all following the complete rules, we wouldn't have taken it. All right. Now we get into a bit of chop. This is filtering us out. Here it's crossing up. Here we got this here. The EMA price broke up after it crossed, pulled back down. We technically could have taken this right here. Would have only gotten 5 3/4 points, but technically that was part of the rules. Now here, we're below, we're crossing up, everything's above, everything looks good. Take this, would have been a loss for 5 points. Not bad, but considering the day's going pretty well so far. This one here is crossing up, everything's a go. You take this right to there, 9 1/4 points. This one here, we're below, no go. This here, we're below, no go. Right here, we have absorption on the standard, we're good, but right here, this is still sloping down. You have the absorption, it moves over, we're still, momentum's onto the downside. That's no go. This here, everything's up, you could take that there. This one would have been break-even trade. All right. Depending on how your fill was. Now, let's move to 5 here. This is where we had the big drop this afternoon. All right. Now, all of a sudden, we're running right about here. We're running below the 5. On the 1 minute, we're below. And not until about right here were we actually below everything. Okay. But seeing on how aggressive this was moving down, all right, that would be up to you. Here, We were below here. This here is breaking the 21 on the 5, and it's below the 8 and the 21 on the 1 minute. We had the cross, it pulled down, pulled back. This here is technically an entry. And actually, I believe one of the guys in the room took this today. Nope, not this one. He took this one right here. Okay? It's crossing down, drawing negative delta. All rules are actually aligned, except we're just above the signal line here. All right? But this one he took, I think he got like 26 points out of it. And it was 32 because he got in a little bit down here on this. Okay? I think he actually waited for this candle to close as it crossed down. All right? Which actually would have been, yep, and he got it a little as it was going. So, you can be a little discretionary with it, but typically you want to wait like right here. We have top traders with a surge going down. We already crossed down here. We had the little push up that went here. But once this crossed here and we're coming off of the 8, you're in good shape. Okay. And that would have been a day maker right there. All right. But either case, you'd like to be below the signal line, depending on how far down you are from the zero line. But you want, when you're below the 0 and the signal line at the same time here on the standard, you get your signal. This is a go. All right. All other rules still apply. You see, like this here, we came all the way up. Let's see if I can get to where that spot is there. So a little bit beforehand, right here. We're running around through a little bit of choppiness, okay? But we're not looking at longs here because we're below the 8 and the 21 on the 5. All right. This broke. I was asked about this actually earlier. On the 1 minute, rules is following the rules. On the 5 minute, we follow the rules, but we never got a pullback to the 8 after it crossed down. Right here, we kind of did. Everything's below, but it really didn't come close to the 8. When it moves that far away, you got to be very cautious. Now here is a different story. We're below on the 5 minute. We're below on the 1 minute. We cross here. It pulls back. It's coming down. Delta just completely flips at this point here. The EMAs are just perfect at that point right there. You enter, you take it, 32 points. All right. So this filter right here with just the standard and utilizing the fast EMA helps tremendously with you getting into these trades. Make sure you always watch your delta, because delta will definitely help you. Prop traders, absorption, surge. Surge, we already know how the surge is. Surge just in itself is a great tool. Like right here, you actually had a surge signal because you pull our zone. It pulled back into the zone. It didn't really move away, but it pulled back into the zone. And we look over here from that surge spot. What do we got? All right. And then if we get our signal here as well, that's a go. That's a surge right into trend lock. All right. Hopefully this helps you guys and helps things get a little bit clearer for you. Right now, none of this is a trade, considering we're under the 21 and the 8 on the 5 minute. All right. We're above it on the 1 minute, but in the 21 on the 5 minute, this is not a trade. Here we came down, right here. We touched, we got a surge, it's coming down. We're below everything. That surge right there is the same because it came here. We had a surge here. So it shows you that the strong sellers right here. All right. It came back up. They stepped back in again. You wait until you close below the ADMA. We close below. Right here is an entry. Well, let's see how far that actually went there. That might, no, right there. That actually got right up to the tick, a little above. So that might have ticked you out, 21 points. All right. So that's it. Hope that helps. And I'll see you guys in the room. Thank you.